Oh. Oh shit, I didn't see that shit. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, the music is slapping. Whoa, this seems so tedious, let me tell you, it is. I've already done this for 2 weeks now. And yeah, it's something, you know, I can't wait to be doing something else. Sure. Mocha rotoscope, yes. So like, as you can see, there's tons of tons of masks, and every mask is for you know the tiniest crease, just to kind of make it easier to get all the details. To show you. Get the comments. Got 2 weeks. I hope you get well-deserved sleep. Yeah, maybe afterwards. Do you think Mocha Pro is better than Adobe After Effects for masking you? I mean, I wonder if you're comparing the Rotobrush 2 to Mocha. In my opinion, Mocha is better because you have more control over what you're doing and you get the finest details in. But it takes time, more time than the Rotobrush. So depends what you want really. So like if you want it to want results fast, go with the Rotobrush. I do love your content. Thanks, man. Oh, it feels so awful. I haven't done this in a while. I don't know how to behave. First little question, is Mocha rotoscoping faster? Like if you wanted to make a cool rotor, because thoughts of over, but I'm not sure. I'm not about interfacing. I mean, hang on, let me just give you like a demonstration, because it really depends on what you're rotoring. Like, let's see. Hang on, let's see. Memes are prime content might keep. Yeah, thanks, man. Right, so like, he's drinking. I mean, it's hard to see because not nearly nowhere near done, but you know, you get all this fine detail on the arm, right? On the creases, and what you also get, or what you don't get, is the you know, the flickering on the line when you use the road brush, which I really don't like. I'm gonna miss the music clip. So when you do use rotor brush, you sometimes get this annoying flicker on the line, on the edge, which is really annoying. So with Mocha, you like avoid it completely, which is great. But yeah, let's go over like a shot where Mocha would be good for. Oh yeah, this is one example of what I've done. What Mocha would be good for, first of all, have it fast, and also quality would be like, you know, really good. Move all these stuff in here. Right. Alright, let's say you only want this part to have it roto. You watch similar content to yours, to your own, like Rotoscoping? Yeah, I'm a huge fan. Like that's pretty much it when it comes to editing or anything like that. Rotoscoping is, in my opinion, is quite stinky for taking someone out manually. Manual work is much clean. Yeah, 100%. Like, I just placed that one mask there and I let it think about it, and even we can clearly see that it's off, right? We can just move these here, which creates a new key. Right, now it follows it, and right, so that was under a minute, and we already have that. Then let's do. No, it doesn't have to be perfect. Do that. All right. Just that, just a tiny bit. I do roll the hair. I mean, I can show you a bit later, but I want to keep a couple of the secrets in my sleeve. There's a couple tricks I'm willing to give out. But yeah, the main bit with Mocha, I mean, you don't have to do it, but it's I heavily recommend, is doing dividing the subject you're, you know, masking out, divide it to pieces, because you get better results and you can focus on a smaller area, you know, rather than focusing on the whole character. And you know, it will be much cleaner that way, and saves you tons of time in the long run. Because what you end up doing if you just go with one singular mask is you just end up using your time just to do small corrections rather than just getting those fine details done with multiple masks. We've already done most of our face, and then after I'm done with this, I'm gonna show you what it would look like with Rotobrush 2 and why I don't like using it most of the time. I'm don't get me wrong, I still use it, but on a selected cases, like when it definitely saves time, and also the quality of the mask wouldn't suffer too much, because I know that the tool can handle it. But 90% of the time I use Mocha for pretty much everything. Right, and let's not do the hat. I'm just doing the face. So, right. Also, say that you were one of my inspiration for myself. Thank you so much. Your videos are very good. Keep going. Thanks, man. I'm glad to hear that. I hope you're doing well as well. What would you say is the best software for to use rotoscope? I'd say Mocha, but like that's only because I'm using it. I mean, there's DaVinci Resolve has. I think it has one that is close to, or if not even better, this. But I would recommend Mocha because if you already have After Effects, you get Mocha for free. So you know, it's already there. So why not use it? Right. So that is Mocha, right? And then right. So that took probably like what, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Now we compare that to Rotobrush 2, which I would recommend for faces and all that, unless it's clearly the case that you would get the results you best. You can already see much better details. Yeah, and like see how it's kind of like trying to figure out, oh, like, let's go there. Now you have to use your time to kind of like clean it up, and right. So now we have that, right? We have this fine detail that you wouldn't get with like the mouth, for example, is much cleaner. And what I also don't like about Rotobrush is I really like my 90-degree angles. So like, let's say the nose. I mean, it looks fine from far, you know. But what I really don't like about Rotobrush 2 is it runs up the corners, and what you don't get is these sharp corners that are necessary to have with nice roto. But again, you have to kind of like ask yourself, do you want it like, obviously this is good enough and it was way faster, but are you happy with that, or do you want to take a little bit more time and have it be way better? It just depends on what you use it for, really. I mean, Rotobrush usually does most of the job. Good for the hair, fur, clothes, but I do sometimes have to rot manually to add some parts of the body. Sometimes can't tell. Yeah. Like, I was a bit surprised that it could, because the program really has hard time if there's like vertical lines or horizontal lines in the background. It sometimes tries to pick those up. So I was a bit surprised that it did any of that. So I mean, it is decent, but I would still go with the Mocha. But it's just, you know, personal preference, I guess. Oh, I did rotoscoping with Mocha before. I used AI Rotobrush. Yeah, like, it just all depends what you use it for, really. Like, like you get all this, you can manually do all of like let's see. Let me show you one of the first ones that I did. Manla says, "Love your work, man." Thanks, man. Glad you like it. Oh yeah. So this was one of the first shot I did. Favorite edits are the pings in the Star Wars and the Master Chief. Yeah, I mean, I really like those as well. I wish I could do more Star Wars related content in the future, maybe next year. Thanks. Yeah, are you thinking of learning Unreal 5? It would enable you to. Yeah, I mean, maybe in the future. I definitely agree that, you know, the potential for, you know, I know what you're talking about, but at the moment my content isn't something the way I would need those sorts of shots. But I can definitely see my content going there eventually. Why not? Yeah, that's one of the issues too. But seeing how long it's taking for the Merkava, such a big willing to switch over soon. Yeah, and like as you said, the interface. I mean, it's definitely definitely a bit hard to figure out at first, but like all you need to know really is, let's set up. All you need for just to do roto is literally, you know, the zoom, which you can get here, right? And then the pencil where you can create, you know, the mask. And then once you've done, just you can select all and, you know, round the corners, or individually just go, and then once you're happy with, you know, the first frame, these you just select these depending on what your subject is doing, you know, what the area is doing, if it's kind of like changing the perspective, or, you know, moving, or how it's moving, or all that. But all you need to know is literally that, and then after you've done with the rotor, you save it, and that's it. You activate the yeah, I did, Jacob. Isn't it hard to rotor the motion blurred versions sections? And then you save it, and then when you go to matte and apply matte, it's there. That was it. Is it hard to rotor motion blurred? With the motion blur, let me see if there's a shot that I can show you. It isn't actually that hard when you once you figure it out, the trick. Like, let me try finding right there. So how you would ask yourself, how do I know where to place the line with this? Because it kind of goes over here, but then it's kind of over there, and so what you want to do with each mask is you have to think it as you're removing the motion blur. So what you basically what you're gonna do is just mask it where the real line would be and where the motion blur isn't. So you wouldn't go, right, let me get the motion blur back in as well. Because what you end up doing, right, is once you are finished with the roto, right, you have it there, and then you go back in and add the motion blur back in. What you essentially are what you're doing is having double motion blur. So what you want to do is go where the original line is, and once you add the motion blur back in, you have the natural, fall off. So it isn't that hard when you think about it. But I guess where the hard bit comes with is sometimes because the line is so blurred, you don't really know where it is. So I guess that's do you rotor and blend other transparent objects? But usually you just do it with I'm actually doing it with. So what I'm doing here is, this is transparent, right? I have to use plugins called Compost Brush, multiple color keys to micro and Rotoscoping for easier. Yeah, man. 100%. And and depending on the shot, I don't really use, like, for this fur, I would that complicates because the background is kind of like uneven. But like for this, what I wouldn't do is go to. I mean, I would still, roto or select the whole thing in Mocha, but when I go back, get the details, what I would do is go to Effects, Keying, Extract, and what I'm seeing here is that the background is darker than the fur. What I can do is just try removing that. Oh, it's lagging a bit. Sorry about that. What I can do is by removing that background, and now I only have the see? No. So now, right. So now I would have, this fur without really doing any photo work. Do you make memes on the internet for living, or what's your main job? Love your work, qualities. Oh, thanks, man. I mean, I don't really get too much money from my videos on YouTube, but I do video editing for a living. But that's outside YouTube, really. What program is this? After Effects and Mocha, which is inside Effects. If you just go, here and go to Effects. Everybody should have this if you have After Effects. So there is Effects Mocha, and then Mocha. Good evening, how are you? I'm doing good. Liking this kind of cutting out, doing that, like, no. Yeah. I kind of did a. Let me change that. Properties, filters. Yeah, the noise gate is Alright, maybe that's better, I don't know. But I was trying to eliminate those when I'm doing that. You wouldn't hear that, but I don't know. Huh? On my end, some of the starts words have been cut off. Yeah. Is this the very first live stream? No, I haven't done live streaming in ages. Maybe like a year, maybe. But I've done a couple in the past. I was so bored with Rotoscoping. I was like, maybe I should just share that. I don't want that. Hang on. Where was the oh, here we go. Hey, I love your Rust video. Wondering maybe could we get a full-on tutorial, and if not for the Rust video, for how you wrote it in general. You're the best Rust. Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm really bad at making tutorials because I don't really know. I mean, it's a skill on itself to kind of explain. Yeah. Hopefully you could learn something that, you know, along the way now that I'm showing this live. Giving these tips and tricks. I'm glad you liked the video. How long does it take? I mean, it really depends on the video. But yeah, let me just show you the I thought it was the end of me. The Rust video has been the longest video where I've like in terms of rotoscoping, it has taken the longest. So this shot alone, from this point on, from this now, so that 10-second thing took a week. Just that took a week, plus the other shots, which, you know, it wasn't fun. I multiple times when I was doing that, I thought about just not doing it because is it really worth? Who's gonna cave? You know, one of the creases in the jacket is not fully there, but you know, I'm glad I didn't quit. You give me motivation to make some memes again. Hell yeah! I haven't seen you do this in a while. If you yeah, how's your school going? I remember you saying something like that. Could you say more specific what your main job is? I don't know. Maybe just video editing. I don't really want to go into much detail. Hopefully that's okay. A week, man said, telling me I'll have to practice long. Yeah, I mean, when people see like impressive rotoscoping, it's mostly just it took a lot of time, and you know, everybody could really realistically do it, but it's just, you know, it's the time that makes or breaks it, really, and the end of the day. Oh, it's really hard. I just realized you do the Top Gear ones. I have them downloaded because they always cheer me up. Oh, thanks. That's cool, man. They are my favorite ones as well, so I'm glad you like them. I'm definitely gonna do more in the future, but let's just get this out of the way first. But I'm really excited about this as well, but yeah, this rotoscoping is killing me. what I usually do is do one shot a day, so it doesn't feel like too much work, or like, you know, because when you think about it, there's maybe 1 minute worth of rotoscoping, and it's all like this. It is work, so you have to kind of like think about it as, or dividing it to days, so you don't like burn out immediately. Have you ever rotoscoped a shot or a couple of shots you didn't use? I think I have. Oh yeah. And it's the most painful thing ever when you like realize you don't really need it, or like the whole video is better if you cut it out. And it's really like, oh, why did I do that? And this video is kind of like the first of its kind that I've done, at least in a while, where the story of the video or what's happening is not linear. So it's more like a montage. So what I'm doing is I'm rotoscoping these individual scenes that don't really have any correlation between them. And I've yet to decide the kind of like how they go together. So I have a feeling that there's going to be a couple of, at least one of these shots won't end up in the video, so I'm already disappointed. Which one of your videos was favorite to create? Maybe the Animal Crossing one, or oh man, I've done so many videos I can't remember what I've done. Let me go see. The Xavier in the Doctor Strange was quite fun. Maybe the I don't know, maybe the Animal Crossing, maybe. Or the Kermit one. Those were the most enjoyable. And the Animal Crossing one was the fishing one. Was also fun because that was the first time, or the first video rather, that I did with my new computer. So it kind of has that value there as well. The good memories. I remember getting the no computer and just switching over, and it was so much faster with everything. And I was blown away how fast I could render all these scenes. Starting in January, been preparing in the meantime, learning Maya and some Nuke. Hell yeah, man. Oh man, I need to learn Nuke because I feel like, obviously, what I'm about to say is I don't know. I know it's not true, but I just feel like I've come to the point where After Effects is not challenging enough, or like, I mean, it's a really good tool for what I do, but I think to get it to next level, I need to learn Nuke. But it's just so, just looking at it, the interface is so like, I don't get it, and it's really hard to wrap your head around the node-based compositing, at least for me. Like, I just can't start it. But I know that I need to do it. But like for now, After Effects, you know, is perfect. But yeah. Hopefully that didn't come as, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like for me to put this to the next level, I need to start using Nuke. But I don't know. Giving me nightmares, that interface. I mean, you know, Blender is also node-based, but I don't know, it just feels much more, makes sense, I don't know. I just don't like it's so stupid for me me to just to view what I'm doing. I need to view node and then connect that to the keying node, and then that node goes to something else, and it's I don't know. But I know now I need to do it. You got any channels where I can learn how learn what you're doing now? I've got the whole Adobe suite. I never use it. Let's see. I mean, maybe not any specific channel. I don't know. I don't really follow any of those type of YouTube channels, but it's really hard to learn anything. This is what I face with Nuke. Like, what if I have this specific question in mind? How do I, like, it's too specific to kind of like type in. Like, how do I learn to do it? You know what I mean? So I know we're going through, because you might have a question that, in the big picture, like, it's too tiny of a like, how do I do this? But to know how to do that, you would have to learn the kind of like the whole process of that. I don't know. But yeah, it's just YouTube tutorials. Every time you do something, just Google like, how do I do that and that, and maybe that way you figure it out. Hopefully. I also wanted to make Christmas meme as well, but due to the time and how long it takes, I don't think it would be possible without rushing it, and I wouldn't want to have a bad looking video. Yeah. And this for me is cutting it too close, because I have a work related stuff as well, which is kind of pushing it. So I'm really killing myself over this video, and after I'm done with this, I'm definitely not gonna do any rotoscoping for a while. I mean, that's what I told myself after the Breaking Bad one, but I don't know. I'm lucky that this only contains one person rather than 3 in one shot, right? Like the Breaking Bad one did. It was so not fun. You still use your Rotoscoping suit? Yeah, man. The latest Spider-Man one, I did. The Spider-Man was me axing in or like thinking about being in that elevator. And I'm planning to maybe use it in this one. Depends if I can get my hands on some of the Kane characters that I'm putting this guy in. But it has really opened so many kind of opportunities in terms of storytelling, because I always wanted the suit for the purpose of, when I'm making videos and I need a certain animation, but there's only couple libraries you can go to, like Mixamo or the Rococo Studio has a library you can buy for motion capture animations, but there's only so many, and if you really need some specific animations, you kind of fucked, because where are you gonna get that now? And I'm not that good of an animator to pull that off with just hand animation, so now I have to compromise and come up with another solution for what the character is doing. And now the whole idea is kind of like changed. So now that I have the suit, I can literally do anything. I mean, obviously, within limits. I can't do backflips or anything like that. So, obviously within limits, you can do whatever. Like the in the latest Spider-Man, where you're gonna get 30 seconds of just me being awkward in an elevator. So you have that freedom of, you can basically do whatever, which is amazing. Oh, yours is going well though. So far, do you think you'll be able to finish it? I'm sure it will be. I'm planning on getting the rotoscoping out of the way, you know, by Wednesday maybe, this week. And then I can start doing the composition work, which, you know, once I get that going, doesn't really take too long, so maybe by the 20th, or maybe, I don't know, I can't promise anything. But I'm aiming for, I don't really care, as long as it's before 24th. Nuke can be imitating, but it comes with the, yeah, 100%. One thing I don't like Mocha is, you know, if you try to move the layers, it doesn't clearly say where it's going to place it, so that's really annoying. It's fucked. I'm learning VFX with Noob right now. I've never used Mocha. Does he have any auto rotors? No, I mean, I guess it's kind of like automatic once you apply the like, what, you know, do the mask and just let it think about, you know, the rotor. So I guess that way it's kind of automatic, but then you can go back and, you know, adjust it like I'm doing now. So in that sense, it's, I mean I know what you're talking about, but it doesn't have those sort of options. Oh, that's messed up. That. Let's do that. What I'm doing now is just replacing the original. Alright. So you can see, like, can you imagine the this is what it looked like for every character in the Breaking Bad video. Just full of these lines and masks. It was awful. So that's why you need to keep it, you know, organized, so you can you know, color code these masks. I know I'm not doing it right now, but it really helps with, you know, it's just kind of like seeing where everything is, especially once you start having like multiple masks on top of each other. What version of Adobe are you using now, man? 21, I think. I mean, I do have, you know, I'm paying for the Adobe, so I have all the new ones, but I don't know, I just like the 21 version. Mikey 1 gram. Thanks, man, for the donation. Oh, you do have to do that, but that's generous of you. Diablo, haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? What program are you using, and why aren't you using AI to rotoscope? I'm using Mocha, and I'm not using AI because it doesn't give me the details that I need. Because I'm really fussy about, you know, I want it to look not perfect, but, you know, good enough so you could use it in a like a official production or something. I remember I saw this advert on telly of somebody. Oh yeah, some VFX company actually did what I'm doing now, which rotoscope the character out of the movie and then put it in the advert of this grocery store, and it was really well done. And that I'm kind of like trying to get this look as close to that as possible. I mean, I'm not gonna get there, you know, but you know. Can you rotoscope your feet on stream, please? Hi, I just think you do such a great job. No, it's always great to see what you come up with. Maybe sticker comes through. Yeah, came. Thanks, man. Thanks for the sticker. Great. How long does it take to make that Top Gear video? You know, the most recent one? Maybe like 3 weeks, maybe. It was quite funny when I started doing it. I had no idea how to do the bit where the castle collapses. So I was like just hoping that I figure it out along the way. When I get to it, like I was rotoscoping for 2 weeks, and then when I was faced with the you know, the castle collapsing or the whole thing, I was like, fuck, how do I do this? And I figured it out. The Asta advert, that was really good. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, exactly. And I was looking at the hair. I was like, fuck. I honestly thought at first that, oh man, how did they must have like used some sort of AI de-aging for the actor, because it looks that good, the rotoscope. I was like, they had to go, you know, it's great that they got him back to the outfit, you know, but I was actually done with just what I'm doing now. It just blew my mind. I was like, I need to get as close to as I can within reason to that. And yeah. Obviously, you know, they have more people working on the rotor and all that, which, I mean, that's no excuse, but it's just, you know, time is money. One thing I do with rotoscope is make an enhanced version, right? Yeah, 100%. That's actually good. This, by the way, I don't know, I haven't read anybody asking this, why the quality of the video is so like unsaturated. It's because of what I'm working with, the 4K version of the movie, where you know, you have all this data that I can kind of like color correct it however I want without actually kind of like, you know, destroying the quality of the footage, or like, you know, but yeah, that's why the whole picture is really grey and unsaturated. Oh, so many comments. Fuck. How do you make money? Working. I mean, I do make some money with these videos, but it's just, yeah, it's just, you know, I just consider that as nice extra bit, but it's not too much. And most of the videos don't even make money to even worth mentioning, but the ones that do usually get demonetized, and I wonder why. Because the you know, the copyright holders see that, oh, that is actually making money, let's get that fees, so they claim it. I was so fucked. I remember last Christmas I was doing this Spider-Man video where Tobey Maguire goes to the Shrek universe, and then what I do with every video that I do is I upload it just to see if it, I upload it and see if it has any copyright strikes or not strikes, but does it get claimed? And if it does, I make adjustments and all that good stuff. But what I do is the day before it's supposed to go live, I upload it to YouTube just to kind of see if it has any effects, and it didn't. It was like, oh yeah, you just go ahead, man, to use the video. And then next day I upload a new version of the video, but like literally the same. There's nothing changed other than the quality of the video, and then that also gets green light, and it lingers around 10,000 views for a bit, and then it explodes, right? Blows up in the views, and would you know it gets claimed right after it's been up for like 10 hours. So it's really annoying that, but what can you do? And that at that point I can either shorten it in the YouTube, you can shorten it inside YouTube own editing tool, but yeah, after what I did was with the Kermit video, it was doing actually good money, then it got claimed, then I shorten it by 2 seconds, and then when it got green light again after that, it only made a fraction of what it was doing before. So yeah, it's not worth it, really. How much RAM and drive storage do you typically allocate for the rows? I mean, I have what do I do? Like 32 gigs of RAM on this computer. So, but before, like when I was doing rotor work, it was a nightmare. But now I don't really think about it really. And after I'm done with, the folder that I store every video that I'm doing gets like massive after the video's done. So I just put that into a external hard drive afterwards, so I don't have to keep it on the main computer. So I don't even think about that. But I don't know if that answered your question. Sorry about that. But is your level considered good for the industry, or just somewhere near basic for where you work? Really wondering as a starting crew. I mean, it's really hard to answer that without sounding arrogant. But I truly think that my work could be used in a good, like fully official production. But that's only because, I just put so much effort into those details. But I guess that is kind of like good enough there. So I think it's really unrealistic seeing my work and kind of like instantly think, all right, I need to do that, and then it's really hard to put into words. But like, even I'm like, doing this, I'm like, why am I doing this? This is so annoying. It takes forever. Like, I don't know. But like, just a couple percent off from this is like good enough for anything, really. And you can, you know what I mean. Like Rotobrush 2 is good enough for 99% of anything, and you don't really have to think about it too much. I hate that you have to re-import a lot of plugins if you switch to. Yeah. But also, I mean, yeah, luckily I don't really use too many plugins in my After Effects, so I don't really have that issue. But I know I have a couple that I use quite a lot, so it is really annoying. But yeah, that's one of the reasons I stick with the 2021 version, because you know, I got all the goodies in there and it works fine. There's nothing that to complain about. And even the newest one, there isn't any major update that I would be like, oh, I need to get on that. You know what I mean? So why even bother? The thing that annoys me is I sometimes use Photoshop for, you know, for my videos, and it doesn't let me use the later versions. Maybe it does, but I don't know how I'm gonna get access to those. So it automatically just deletes the one that I was using and installs the new version. But maybe I'm just dumb and don't realize that I'm just doing something wrong. But yeah, but I hope, luckily After Effects doesn't like just delete your old version, it just replaces it with the new one. Which company made that? Maybe the Framestone or Moving Picture Company. I can't remember, but they definitely use Nuke for rotoscoping for sure. How do you feel about YouTube's react to your YouTube videos? I mean, it's great, and it's like so. You know, I think every YouTuber considers them as just not. Obviously, they are just a normal person, right? But when you look at them, you kind of think about like them as being something out there. When I'm reacting to somebody, I'm always looking somebody's video like, oh, they're like this cool. You know, I don't know. But now seeing somebody else react to my videos and I'm just a normal guy, and them like kind of finding it good or funny, I think that's great. I don't know, maybe I explained it a bit weirdly. Would you learn to edit like this? I want to try something similar, but I don't know where to start. I think just YouTube mocap rotoscoping tutorial, and I think like what I'm doing now, I'm literally using 2 or 3 buttons in the whole software and getting by. So like the mocap is really easy to learn, and like just more time you put into it, the better quality you get. And I think you could really learn to master the program in like a couple of days, honestly, because like I'm literally using this button, and then save and quit, and that's it. Like it looks because you got all these different, you know, all these different things around the picture, but honestly it's really easy. I've noticed that it's similar with egg restriction. They don't really clap until it starts doing well. Yeah. Man, I'm really late for this question. Are you working for a company or are you self-employed? If yes, are your clients corporate or individual? No, I'm working for a company. But I mean, I guess this is like, you know, self-employment. So both. Your chip, so true. AI contender. I do 50 gigabytes, but all depends on the power of your GPU. Working in production is like working on something until they take it away. it is good enough ways this. Yeah. And it's like, when you look in the movies, thinking like, oh, look at all this quality. Look at this perfect. Most of the time it's not actually, but because it goes by so fast, and you're just watching it, you don't actually realize that there's some jankiness to it. So like, it's actually even it's so funny when you go back and look at, for example, the prequel Star Wars movies. There's so much almost amateur level compositing in some of the shots. It's quite funny, but nobody has time to kind of like, oh, look, did you see that rotoscope is quite rough, because you're in the moment, you don't really kind of like don't even care. Now I'm not even talking about the CGI. I'm just talking about the compositing work that is in the movies. Yeah, like most of the time you can get by quite a lot of jank. For sure. Alright, we are almost done with. I think I'm gonna finish this shot and then take a break. Maybe not in the stream, but before I go to bed. And then maybe start off with another, because I really need to get this video done, because it doesn't really make any sense to upload it after I mean, kind of does, but and I do have other videos that I need to do with my full-time job and all that, so crunch. Awesome to peek it behind the curtain. Hello from Ireland. Love your work, mate. Thanks, man. OSW Review HD. Hopefully there's a. Hopefully I didn't butcher that name. I do. This is why you need to color code these bloody masks. See, I got all confused. But what I do, if I don't need the mask anymore, I just put it outside the picture, so you don't even have to think about it anymore. And also, let me just show you one good tip with the edge blur after you've done with the image. Just fun. I remember the shot where Anakin and Palpatine were walking off the scene and the hallway wasn't done, and it looked like Wilder Coyote joke. Yeah, I know what you mean, but yeah, it's also at the same time it's quite like kind of fun to see that even the professional guys can make mistakes, and it is really kind of like almost like encouragement, kind of like you don't have to be perfect all the time, because even the best of the best make mistakes. So. It's a bit of a jump. like with the rotor brush, there's no way in hell you would get like this opening, for example. Like you get the collar, you got the shoulder, you got the arm, hands, the chin, all these small edges and corners. You wouldn't get a clean, sharp image or like a finished result. No way. And that's why like something like Mocha is perfect for kind of like getting those fine details, which definitely take the whole image to the next level. I'm just fine tuning this a little bit. Right. So after you've, what you can do is, you know, if why am I seeing this? Oh, that's the hair. Why am I seeing the whole picture? Not seeing the Alright. I don't know what was wrong with there. That's the... Right. So once you like, let's just pretend that this is done, right? What you can do is you can, you know, if you overall is kind of good, but there's some places where the line is kind of like, you can see a bit of the background and all that, but you can't be a user. So you're already done with the whole thing. You don't want to go back and clean it up. You can, what you can do is go to add a simple Joker, right? And what this does is you can overall kind of lagging a bit, make the line either, you know, or just push the line a little bit back, just a tad, just a little bit, right? So now you have like, you still keep all the details, but you get that added benefit of just having that line pushed back just a tad. But what that does is, if you've already applied some edge blur onto these, you know, right, you would lose that fine detail or like that blur, right? So where you can, this, I don't know why it took me so long to figure it out, but you can get that back by just, you have to first of all you have to have it pre-comped, right? Doesn't work otherwise. And then go to blur, channel blur, and then just the alpha blurness. Just, this will kind of like blur the whole background. I mean the only the edge. So like maybe 0.4, and it's like after the simple Joker, right? So you get that blurriness back. But that's one tip of the day. Is Mocha free? I mean, if you have the After Effects installed, you get the Mocha free. It's in the After Effects. But I don't actually know. Let's say somebody downloads After Effects from you know what I mean, and I don't know if they get the After Effects that way. I mean the Mocha, sorry. So I'm not sure, but I assume they do. But yeah, because I only started using Mocha when I was actually paying for After Effects, so I don't know have any experience for it. Looks like a lot of work for these short clips. I know, no, I know it. I 100% agree, but I think after it's all done and finished, I'm looking at it after like a month, and it's all done, and like all these clips are back to back, and all these have this, all of them have this nice quality to them. It's kind of like, I'm glad that I did that. You know, I'm really happy that I went through that because it looks really nice and like makes me happy that I got it done. It makes me happy that somebody got enjoyment out of the video I did. Jonathan Schaefer donated $2. Thank you, man. MATLAB did it. Will this stay up as a default? I'm not sure. Maybe. I hate my own voice or hearing my own voice, so I'm not 100% not listening to it. So maybe I have to think about it. I don't know if I have any other live streams up. I'm not sure. I think I privated them. Do you use real small motion blur on your rotors? Yeah. I wish there was some other effect that you can use, because I mean it's good. It gets the job done, but I just wish there was an alternative. And what I'm talking about and what he mentioned was adding back motion blur. Like, let's say you roto to a mask, so you don't have that motion blur anymore there, you know, so you can get that motion blur back in with the using that effect. I just wish there was an alternative just to kind of like see how that works, because I can see some issues with using the real smart motion blur, but it's overall is really good, like super helpful. And like it will take your roto to the next level if you add motion blur to it, but still keeping it within limits. Obviously you don't want to overdo it, just to kind of hide the fact that the roto, some of the parts may not be as good. So you like add more motion blur to those parts, but now it just ends up looking just a kind of like blurry mess. There's you know, use it sparingly, I guess. That's what I've done before. That's how I know. Maybe just have it as unlisted and keeping it in places so that only really good fan. Yeah, man. Yeah, why not? I'm not gonna watch it anyway. So why not? I think I should do that. And also, I was worried about, you know, the music that I'm using with these live streams. You know, some of them can be copyrighted. So having that, you know, be there, I don't want to take that risk. But since I'm using Minecraft music, I guess that's fine. I don't think they care. But you never know. Still playing? It is. Cypher. You put so much effort into memes, you deserve more recognition. Thanks, man, and thanks for the donation. I don't know what currency that is, but that's really nice of you. Thank you. How do you decide what shapes to use when you make a like, how do you decide this part of the body goes in this shape? Well, I think I kind of like first kind of like analyze where the specific body part is what is it doing? Why is it going? How does it move? Or if the shape kind of changes depending on what the character is doing. And then based on that, if there's any corners there, I usually keep those up, not rounded, so as sharp as they can be. And then, I mean, most of the time it's still kind of like, as you can see here, all these bits and points are rounded off. But like, if there was a corner, like let's say, no, like here, this for example, like, I mean, it's a little bit rounded up, but like this is really sharp compared to these, so you know, you just kind of like have to analyze and kind of like decide how many divisions you want to do per mask, and like, you know, what kind of overlaps something out, you know, like this is kind of like overlapping the bottle, and then kind of like, you know, it's just, I don't know. In Mocha Pro, I think there's a way to add motion blur. React natively don't know while masking that. Well, that's cool. I'm using the non-pro version, so I don't know if this has one, but that's cool to know. But the I remember at least the native, you know, if let's say you animate a solid, right, in After Effects, and then add the motion blur in the comp. I'm not sure if it's kind of like motion blur is realistic in terms of all the rotate. Like, does the blur rotate, or is it just straight lines? So you really want to have that realistic motion blur there. So I'm not sure if the native, I'm not talking about the Mocha one, but I'm just thinking aloud about the After Effects one. Oh, I hate that bloody thing. Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, now I'm really struggling with, if I would just press play, right? Now this part of the mask is influenced by the movement of the bottle, which I really don't want. So, and then I would have to do extra work just to clean that up. So what you can do is from let me just clean that up. Alright, from now you can go and do a mask around, like it's just a rough mask that kind of covers the whole thing. Right? Go over there. Oh jeez, I can just already feel this lagging. I need to. Right. Use that. Doesn't need to be perfect or anything. Just kind of like, so it covers the whole thing. And use that as kind of like a mask to say to this mask, hey, don't be influenced by the bottle. So now, at least it should be, or maybe because it's already. Fuck. Let me just give you another. Let me just redo this so I can't show what I'm doing with this mask because it's already kind of like buffered all the way to the end. It's gonna move no matter what. So I need to redo this. But right, so cross that off. That one. Right, so now Now it's important that the one that you're trying to, you know, mask with is underneath. So like now it's underneath the bottle mask. So now what this is telling our active mask is, don't listen to this area and just go about your day. And it shouldn't be influenced by whatever's going here. And it's it didn't. I mean, I still need to do a little bit of cleaning, but it's way better and quicker than just not do this and then, you know, spend 15 minutes just to clean up all those keyframes. Right? And that's about it. That's really useful trick to kind of like save a bit of time. It's still not perfect, but it's good enough, I guess. Alright. Hell yeah. And now I can just delete that and not use it. I mean, I still need to use it, but I mean, you know, mask the whole bottle. But you know what I mean. Mojang just tweeting they are pissed at you. Fuck. That makes them. It's the man from the lesson in the music. Yeah, that was awesome. That was really awesome that I got to do the bit with him. He's a really nice guy too, genuinely. But it's just like I'm so bad with. I've been into 2 interviews in terms of, you know, YouTube video, and I'm so like, you know, it's when you're in the moment. It's, you know, obviously he's gonna cut all that, you know, excess thinking and, you know, arms and arms off. But for some reason, when I'm in the moment, I'm just like, I need to answer these questions right now, right here. So I'm laying tracks as I'm riding the train, right? Which ends up me just mumbling and rumbling. But thankfully, he cut all those awkward bits off. I was so nervous about it when it finally came out. I was like, oh. So. But then I read the comments and it was super nice. Are you editing 4K HDR? The colors look. Yeah. Mainly because the HD version is so blurry that I was like, no way in hell I'm gonna get anything useful with that footage. So yeah, this is 4K HDR, right? HDR footage. Hence it being super flat and unsaturated. Did the music stop? Hey John Gray, hey Matt from the Wii Sports. Hey Matt, how you doing? Right. And sometimes when there's a lot of movement that would affect the quality of the mask, I just literally eyeball it and do it by hand, and you get. What I find is most of the time you end up getting better results just doing that by hand, because otherwise it would be kind of going all over the place. It wouldn't be clean. And because it goes by so fast, the movement, you don't even notice that there's some mistakes in the mask. Alright, and now I can get rid of that. something. That there. That little pop is annoying me. Alright. I'm very curious on how you rotate transparent objects like the bottle, for example, since you can see small parts of the original background from the footage. I mean, a lot of it is actually keying, as in like you literally key like a lot of keying effects rather than actually rotoscoping it, you know. And like you just have to hope that the background is either less contrasty than the bottle itself, or other way around. So like there's way more contrast, and I'm gonna show you the example in just in a minute. So let's say that the background is kind of like dark and, you know, or any color other than the bottle itself. You could literally key that out and then just have the details of the actual bottle in there. So I'm gonna just try and explain it with this. But it's kind of hard because the bottle itself is kind of like the same color as everything else in this scene. So yeah. Oh, this is perfect time. Sometimes Mocha is glitching out, and for some reason it does this. So like, see, it's like this rotor or mask specifically, right? See, now it's perfect, right? Let's just go back. Oh, this perfect example, and I was struggling with this so much, and I hated it. All right, so see this? It shouldn't be doing that. It's glitching out. The mask that I was just working on, right? I mean, it's still glitching out, and it obviously shouldn't be doing that. Wait, hang on, where was it? Yeah. So, see this? The outline, it goes into the infinity basically, and like it freaks out for some reason. It goes all over the, you know, over the place. So I was really struggling with how to fix that. So what I was ending up doing is cleaning it with a lot of manual work. Because now if you look at it, it's like, instead of just staying within the masked area that I just did. Let's try and load. I don't know why it's so slow. I guess the how do you usually color correct flat HDR colors? Because I always have to hard. What I do is I basically just take the you know, the footage that is normally available, aka just 1080p footage from, you know, anywhere really, and just use that as a guidance on what it should look like. You know what I mean? And based on that, just color correct. Do the color, try match the you know, the colors with that footage. Because you don't have to like kind of like, oh shit, what does it actually look like? You just mimic what you already have there. Need to empty the I was really struggling for this for some reason. Yeah, there's 100 gigabytes in the cache. Looks painful, yeah. So many layers, like massive. Oh yeah, darling. And it's really struggling. Like it's not responding, but now it is. So the Mocha was freaking out for some reason, and as you can see, is creating these areas where it shouldn't be, right? And what I was doing in the last project, before I figured out how to fix it, was literally going manually, kind of like cutting those out. But what you can do, and I don't know why it does this, but sometimes when you do a mask, right, and you have all these different options for mask type. So if you select the perspective, right, or like you select it and then start doing it, it can freak out like this. So how to fix it is, I mean, obviously you would think I'll just delete the keyframes, but it's still there. So it doesn't fix it. So it's just just check, put it off, and just literally track over it. What that does is, because you already have these keyframes in place, it doesn't affect them. So essentially, it doesn't ruin the mask, because it's already calculated. But now it's not freaking out anymore. You can see, so it's all cleared up. But now I have to go back and, because some of these weren't actually put in place, so I need to. But yeah, I don't know if any of you have had that problem before, but I don't know with the I remember when I was doing the Breaking Bad one, I was having those annoying glitches, and I was just. It doesn't seem that there's no like tutorials on anywhere for that specific glitch. I was like really just accidentally figure it out, I guess. Hard to see what you make. Yeah, man. Hopefully it comes out. I mean, I have confidence that it will be good, but you know, that's for you to decide, I guess. How do you manage? How do you deal with strong motion blur in the movement? But you kind of have to like study where the original, quote unquote, the line is, and where is the motion blur line. And based on that, just go inside the line a little bit, and then after you've done with your roto, and you apply the motion blur back, it just looks like how it was originally, and not. And if you kind of like go and mask around the motion blur lines, and then, you know, once you're done and go add the motion blur back in, you have double motion blur, which is not good. So just like study where the lines go, and just trust that it will look good after you add the motion blur back, because it will look bad, you know, on its own, but you know, it is what it is, I guess. Can't really get around that. But you know, as soon as the motion blur is back in there, you add it in, it's like as if nothing ever happened. It's almost a magic trick. Always done with the body. so funny. Like sometimes some of these shots that I've been working on can take literally just half an hour, and some of them literally take a day or two to make, just one shot. And it's just, after you've done, you're kind of like, oh, finally. Then you know you have to go do that all over again immediately. So it's not, doesn't feel rewarding, at least at the moment, or in the moment. There. I think I'm done with the whole body, I think. Not including the arm. I think I need to, yes, inside the whole thing. So I really need to focus on just on the whatever this is, what do you call that? Oh yeah, and I still need to mask the plates, I think. There. Because like I could just have this in there in the final product, and like, because you know, otherwise I have to like think about how do I fix this glass being in front of the body. Just rather than doing that, I just literally keep it in, and who cares? You know what I mean? Because it's such a natural kind of like part of the picture that it doesn't kind of stand out of being out of place, I guess. How do you manage the roto things like hair? I mean, it's mostly done by or with keying effects like key light or extract effect. Is really and in the mocap, what is annoying that you can't really track a line, because it always has to be like connected to something, so you can't really track like one literal line, which would be so helpful in terms of, you know, getting those fine details in the hair. But yeah, most of it is just literally being key elements, not actual masking. But you kind of have to get lucky with that. Sometimes the footage is like the background and the hair is the same color. So how do you like? There's no way. Like how would you even get rid of that? So just depends on the footage, I guess. Good evening. MC Productions. What program are you using? I've really wanted to get into this. It's Mocha, and it comes with After Effects. So if you have After Effects, you can get it for free. Yep. And now what we have is we are getting there for sure. After this is updated, hang on. Right. Oh man. It's like I've been doing this for what? How long? 1.5 hours, and I don't know. I still have like maybe 1 hour, 2 hours to go. And then I have to get to the next part. It is kind of like compared to variables, yeah. Sorry about that. Doesn't Roto have blue brush for hair? I mean, yeah, but just it will flicker, and I hate flickering in Rotos, so I just don't use it. I know what you mean, and it all depends on the background. Like, look at this. Like, how do you even get any fine details from this, because the background is literally the same as the hair. How do you tell the rotor brush, right? So where's the line? So like all that. So I like it to keep it, or like do it manually. Let's see. Is the hair layer? But like these are just the hair layers on its own. Done. Oh, I appreciate how much work goes in. Yeah, thanks, man. Music got very loud. Yeah. It's really odd. Like look at this. The volume on this is almost non-existent, and it's like kind of hard to figure it out what is actually loud and what is not. Let me show the hair, and the hair is also done with mixture of mocha and keying effects. So you get consistency of the shape, right? So you don't get any of that flicker, and also you can get some of that detail in there. See? So you get a little bit of that detail that ends up looking really nice in the whole picture, like that. So you get that fine detail, and even if you just see it from the far, you don't really notice it, but your brain kind of tells you that it's complete, picture, and it really adds to the experience, I reckon. The amount of work that goes in this video is insane. Yeah, man, but I love it, man. I mean, at the moment, when you're doing it, when you're doing the roto, it's like once you get to the I mean, I do love rotoscoping, but it's just so time consuming. But once you get to the compositing part, and that it's really fun. Like, this is what I did yesterday. Sorry guys, it's really struggling. Is that Buddy from Elf? Yes. So this is what I did yesterday, and since there's a lot of movement, this usually takes more time than usual. Especially the ones where the arms are kind of like overlapping the body, and you have all these kind of like more openings there, and for those to stay clean and consistent, you just have to brute force it, I guess. Yeah, you got all this nice hair detail there, and yeah, it's just, oh yeah. At the end, when you like watch it, it's all worth it. Like this shot, I've already done a part of the whole thing where he's drinking the Coke. So I already have this shot done. And then this shot where he yeah. What's your PC specs? I think I have RTX 2080, and then hang on, let me look it up. Check. So 32 gigabytes of RAM, RTX 2080, and then i9 10980HK. I never said that word in my life. Intel processor, I guess. And then yeah, and I think terabyte of internal storage. Are you working in 4K? Yeah. Just because I can get that fine detail that I would otherwise lose if I was working, because you know the original 1080p version is so abysmally blurry for some reason that you would never get anywhere close to where you would end up with 4K footage. But it was quite funny when I was converting the 4K footage to kind of like, I mean, all this is converted to 1080, so it's more manageable, but it still has that quality in there. So that the comp size isn't actually 4K, it's 1080. So, but it originally is 4K, yes. And what I do with, you know, let's just pretend that this is finished. What I do is go and just, you know, fill these holes with just normal pencil masks, which is perfectly fine. Can't wait to see the finished product. Take your time and do as much as you want. Thanks, man. Hopefully it will end up being good. I've never really done these. Yeah, as I said a bit earlier, the video, rather than being like a one story or like storyline, it's more like a montage where he's doing a bunch of stuff. And I've never really done that before. So, you know, who knows, but let me watch the Asda. Yeah. The late pizza boy. Yeah, that's where I kind of got the inspiration. Where when I saw it, I was at first, because of the quality of the mask, the rotoscope work was so good. I literally thought that they went back in and filmed new footage. But yeah, it just ended up being really good roto work, and that's where I'm inspired to, you know, get to. This obviously I'm not gonna get fully there, but you know, something along those lines. Hands movements so the worst. I hate rotoscoping dancing videos. Yeah. Luckily, I've never done those ones, so. But I can imagine. Yeah, I just hate. I hate clips where there's tons of movement in them, and the lines that you try to mask are not consistent. It's really hard to kind of like, you know, have the quality stay consistent and not flickery, which is always the struggle with rotoscoping. And I'm just using this. I switched to another layer to do these arm bits, because now I can then manually adjust the blurriness of the edge, and that wouldn't affect the whole picture. So I can get kind of like that for blurriness to these parts of the body, and still have that sharp quality to the rest of the lines. And luckily this is going by so fast that I can just hand track it and not worry about too much about how it will look, because it, you know, goes by so fast you don't really notice it. Really losing my voice here, man. Is there a reason for rotoscoping by body part? Because it's good question. Because it allows you to focus the smaller area at once, which you know, in the long run it will give you better results, and not because if you just use one big mask around the whole thing, what you end up doing is you end up just focusing on fixing these small mistakes constantly, because it will not look good if you use one mask. So you're just gonna lose time on fixing those little mistakes that could have been avoided by using smaller masks on those problem areas. So, and it also, you know, like, for example, this area right here, you have this sharp corner here, like just doing a big huge mask, you would have to focus on keeping this corner and this corner sharp all the way through, and just by using multiple masks you get that sharp corner automatically, without actually even thinking about it, because it's already there. Hopefully that makes sense. Alright, and then that goes there. Oh man. Oh, I can already feel my patience be slipping. I'm definitely gonna end it soon, just to get to have a break, because I feel like I need to get this done before I go to bed. Why is he rotoscoping the elf? I'm making a video with him in a same theme as the Top Gear ones, and I'm really excited to get this done. This has potential to be my favorite video that I'm done, because I think the scope of the video is definitely bigger than what I usually do, and then just I'm really pleased with the quality of the rotoscope. I'm definitely taking it to the next level in terms of having the detail and the consistency there. I'm really pleased with that. But yeah, it's end of the day is up to the viewers if it's good or not, so I can't really say much about that. But I'm already liking it. And there's some of the things he's gonna do in the video that I think are quite funny. And I also have a 3D model that I did. But like what I essentially did was I bought a model, and then because it wasn't nowhere near where I wanted it to be, I rebuilt it in a way. all the face and the hands, and reshape the body and all that. So I have a 3D model of this guy, which I can then animate to do whatever I want in the video, which obviously allows me to use him in a scene where if I would just use rotoscoped material, I couldn't do. Yep. And I literally thought that was my and it wasn't me. I literally thought that was a emoji of my character profile picture. That's funny. Moro Aya. Octopus. Octopox. Jesus, this is taking ages. You're doing good work. It works here, my friend. Thanks, man. But yeah, it's just like the way I'm keeping my sanity intact while doing this. I'm just thinking it as one shot per day, and that's it. I'm not thinking about, oh, I need to do all these shots, all this detail right now, but just having that be divided in my head to be just one shot per day, it really helps with avoiding that burnout, because I'm definitely feeling it right now. You know, the burnout and the effects of. All right, then. Yeah, you can get carried away and kind of like, now I have to go fix these. So now, little trick. Now that I have this individual or separated element of this leaf or whatever this is. Okay. So as you can see, it has tons of more details that I didn't capture with my roto, which is fine, because we can get some of that detail back by using the keying and go extract, and then by just all it just depends what the background of the color of the background is. But what I can do is I can get those small details by bringing that just a tad, and I have that nice detail there, and in the overall picture hopefully it makes a little bit of a difference. Let's see. Feel like oh shit, Dolan Dark, how you doing? See, now we can get now that I kind of expanded the outline, now I can get more potential detail in there, which right. See, and now we can yep, maybe that's a bit too much. Alright, how long have you spent on this already? I mean, this specific mask, maybe 6-7 hours, but overall masking, maybe a bit over a week. And now, as you can see, you have a little bit of that edge thing there. So what I want to do is get that back just a tad. What I can do is put an adjustment layer on top of that, and then add the same effect, the effect, right, and then push it all the way back, and then with a mask just isolate that area, and then there, boom. paid Mocha or is the free Mocha? Is the free Mocha one? I don't even know what benefits you get if you use the free one. If you just use masking. But that's just me because I haven't really put time to. I don't really do anything else with Mocha than rotoscope, and then I mean sometimes I do tracking, but most of it is just masking. Blazing skies. Dude, how's it doing? The only benefit is that they're still asking you to sign up. Yeah. I'm never gonna sign up to that. They're gonna ask me to the end of the time. I'm not putting my name into that. Fuck. That is not good. Pro has some extra tracking features and some other stuff like super plates. Alright. Does that like benefit? Is that like only like motion tracking, or does it benefit? Or is there like any big like thing for like masking, or is it just basically just tracking? Now, almost the finish line. Just to get that fine. Like, I always think, like, why do I even bother? You know? But it's just, once it's done, and once I'm like, you know, done with the video, I'm like thinking, oh yeah, I'm glad I did that. You know what I mean? Definitely worth it. I like on the overall picture. I don't think there's any difference for masking. Yeah, alright. Maybe it's not worth then. Because I mean, I used to have the subscription to that, to the pro version, but that was only for one video that I did. Is that alright? So now we have that. Oh no. What? Yeah, well, Hey Hungry just became philosophical. Yeah. Is that Breaking Brad? Brad Pitt? Boris Effects also has silhouette software for Roto, but I never tried it. I think it just stands alone. That's interesting. Huh. Maybe I should try that. Because I really think, I mean, I do get everything I want from Mocha, but I'm always open to try other software, for sure. Oh, I just messed that whole thing up. One day the algorithm will revert that video. I mean, I hope so. What I've noticed is that these type of videos aren't really doing any views anymore for some reason, and because I think it's because of the shorts. They're pushing shorts, so like, you know, when one could be one could have or could have made like similar video that I did a couple of years ago. Now if they would try that, it would just wouldn't get any views, which is really unfortunate. Which is kind of like, I'm thinking as I'm doing this, I'm like, I'm basically probably not gonna get any views with it, which is, you know, fine, but it's always a bit of annoyance. Rebuy. Are you yeah, also have a check mark. That's cool. Everybody has a check mark nowadays. Oh yeah. But yeah, YouTube is just not favoring these type of videos anymore, I don't think. Or maybe I just haven't... I don't know, maybe, like, I just feel like overall, like, every channel is is struggling a little bit. Maybe that's just me. By posting both 16:9 and short versions, they won't count it as reused content. So, oh shit, really? Yeah, somebody actually mentioned that I should literally just do like a real versions of my videos, which I guess I should do, but I don't know. I just like, I don't care enough about the views that I would put all that effort just kind of translating all my videos to that video format just to get a couple thousand more, you know what I mean? Like, I just like editing and I can't be asked. But obviously, obviously, if you think about growing your channel, that would be so beneficial. But I don't know. It is what it is. Ellie handled getting some pretty good views with the titles that are just like Breaking Bad. Yeah. I've seen his videos. They're really great. And 100%. I think it's the only one that is kind of like... So I think my theory is wrong in terms of YouTube doesn't like these videos anymore. But I don't know where. But yeah, his videos are brilliant. And I think it's really cool that he can push those videos out as often as he does. But I think he has other guy helping him with the videos, which, you know, obviously help. But it's cool that there's somebody that has that level of output with the you know, obviously the quality suffers a little bit because, you know, rotoscoping is the main bit that takes the time, and, you know, all his videos are literally focused on that aspect, but it's good enough. Really brilliant. I love his videos. And he's grown so fast. I remember he only had like 50,000 subscribers or something. And then now he has like over 200,000, which is crazy. So he's really great. And like for me to be able to do same style of videos that he does, because I haven't really played any of the games that he uses in his videos, like Witcher. You know, like I would never be able to do the same video because I don't know any inside jokes what happens in The Witcher. So how do I insert my movie character in those situations where I don't even know what's going on in the game? You know, so like I don't know what's funny. So props to him to kind of, you know. It seems like he's gone through all those games. Yeah, but he's great. Grumpy has 1 million fans. You described it also important to have some viewers. I know it gets a lot of traction on Reddit. Yeah. I'm always impressed how they get fitting footage from the games. I don't have the patience to gather all the footage from the games. Exactly. Like that's like how do I know what is gonna happen in this part of the game? Like, right, I have this guy doing this thing. He's sitting down. He's saying something funny in the movie. I'm like, this is a funny scene, but how do I use this in the game? Like, where at the game can I use this at? You know, like. I might need to play 10 hours of the game to end up in this situation where the scene from the movie would be fitting. But how do I know that without playing it? So I think it's impossible to do any of those videos without playing the games first. And you know, since I've never played them, I could never do a video about Witcher unless it's like really surface level jokes. You know, unless it's that, but I don't think that would be funny. Watch. I haven't played any of the games either, but his videos are so entertaining and well edited that I enjoy them. Yeah, 100%. And he's I think he has help. Somebody's editing with him. Which, I mean, is not a bad thing by any means, but it just allows him to have more videos more often, which I definitely suffer from because, you know, you can already see how long these take to make. Like, imagine having, or like me making like 3 videos a month. I used to do that, but now I don't know. It's kind of like I'm setting myself up to failure by focusing on quality. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't allow me to be efficient. And the more I do these videos, the less I output because, you know, each video has to be more and more quality, and then, you know, each video takes longer to make. So, you know. I would be down for collabs. I can do the tracking. I'm not gathering footage. Yeah, I hate. That would be fun actually. It's actually one of the hardest bits to gather the footage, especially for the Skyrim videos. I think on the surface it looks easy, but because I try to match, you know, obviously the camera angles and the, you know, but also the time of the day. And let's say the original footage doesn't have any clouds and the sky is kind of like overcast. Now I have to focus on the weather. And then obviously that would help me with the compositing work later on. But then obviously that takes time, and then finding the good location to film it is one thing, because it has to kind of look like the area that it was original filmed in. And now literally I'm location scouting in the game, which is quite funny when you think about it. Like when I remember I did the Top Gear in Fallout. I literally took 4 days. I flew around in the game just to find that location, which is, I think when you think about it, it's quite funny. Literally 4 days just to kind of like find the location to do the whole thing. Yeah. I love the Skyrim videos. Obviously it's not easy, but you do a great job with them. With the composition. Thanks, man. I really love compositing, and I think with rotoscoping that's my bread and butter, I guess. I've only ever used Mocha to track. I mean, he's really good at that, so I can't blame you. It's really brilliant. I cut off. I think one of the toughest parts of creating these memes is coming up with a great and feasible idea. Yeah, I know. It's just sometimes I really struggle with having that idea worth making, because I don't want to end up in the situation where I know that I potentially have a funny idea, but I also know that for me to make the video, it literally takes 3 weeks of just doing this, right? And then once you upload it, you realize it's shit. I don't want to be in that situation. So it's quite tough. So I really struggle with coming up with funny ideas, and it's kind of funny in itself, where if you have the mentality of each video has to be better and better, so you run into the problem of kind of like every idea is shit now because it has to be better, and how do you come up with better all the time? So now you struggle with coming up with the idea, and now the quality has to be better, so it takes longer to edit, and basically that's you know, the struggle. Fucking hell. I would do something with Monty Python Holy Grail. I downloaded the remastered version and the soundtrack was botched and I gave up. But how long did it take? How long did this all take to learn? Do you think if you're talking about just overall editing, I've done it since 2011, so what? 11 years? 12 years? But I definitely feel I hit the spot where I haven't really grown as an editor, and I hit the spot around 2021, maybe 2020, maybe. Obviously, I've improved in tiny areas, but overall, you know, it has plateaued quite a lot. You're bringing up such an important point. Collecting footage and even just conceiving the ideas can be the greatest challenge, right? What can motivate? Yeah, like once you get the idea, and you know, the editing is easy, it just takes time. Easy to learn but very time consuming. Yeah, so true. Like I have so many ideas I'm sitting on because I don't think they're better than my last. Yeah, and like the thing about that is they actually are, but your just brain is telling you that they're not. Because what I've had many times happen to me is I've had an idea, and I thought it was, yeah, that was shit. But then I forget about it, and then a half a year later, I I I kind of like remember it again, and I'm like, why didn't I do that? That was actually quite funny. And yeah, so the ideas actually are good, but your just brain is telling you at the moment that this bad. So it's really hard. It's a struggle. Um, and I was just annoyed because you think about it as a as an um. Let's see. Hang on. You think about it as let me visualize it. So right. So let's say this. You know, when you start, you have all these ideas, wide ideas. As you keep going, you get harder and harder to figure it out, and less motivates you, and less actually makes you think that's worth the while. And as you get more, you do it more and more. It gets tinier and tinier until you're at the point where nothing is good enough, and usually that's the point where you burn out, and then you let some time go by, and then you kind of like start over and over, and that's the cycle of just doing that. Crazy how we are all the same for ideas. It's good enough. If it's good enough to make it work better, yeah. How do you deal with the burnout? Just I don't know. Just kind of do something else creatively, like just do like a 3D render of like a picture, or just draw. And yeah, it's just something creative. That's what I usually do, and I just hang on, answering a message. Just to keep doing something creative, and I think that helps with because you're staying in that creative mode, but you're not actually focusing on those videos and ideas. I think it helps your brain to kind of settle down, I guess. How do you make mocha act as a mask? Whenever I use it, I never use it as a. Oh, right. I don't know if you're still here. So I answered that question quite late. But like if you just go to mocha, and then what you would do, even if you were tracking, right? So what you would do is just create the mask. So at that point, let's just say you've masked, tracked the whole object, right? Now at the point you come back to your comp and you go matte and apply matte, and just check that box and outlines the. Yeah. Down this man ain't no newbie, bros the master. Google Wales. I'll get back to you on that one. Or someone else beats you to the idea and goes viral, and you like, yeah. Hello, Charlie fella. What setting do you plan to use for the elf video? I guess I can just say, fuck it. I was just doing Skyrim again. Because I always wanted to use the more of the town elements and the snow areas in the game, or in the videos rather. but I've never been able to do that with the Top Gear ones. So I think this is a good opportunity to kind of merge those ideas together. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. Oh, I really need to hear that. Great explanation. Yeah, man. It's just... How many clips did you rotoscope and never use them? It happens quite rarely, because what I usually do is... Before... We're still going? My OPS disconnected. Are we still going? Somebody say in the comments if this is working. Alright, so how many clips? Yeah, so you know, after I've planned out all the shots that I need for the video, I just rotoscope them, and usually that just works out. But in some instances, there has been a case where I've rotoscoped something something that was kind of like, maybe I need it, maybe I don't. Then I don't end up using it, and it's really hard, like when you have to like just cut it, but you know that you have to, because if you don't, that will make the video worse. You have to like kind of like spend all this time for it, but nobody cares really at the end of the day how many, like let's say somebody comments this was a bad video, okay, and then you comment on it. Well, it's only bad because I ended up using the clip that I spent too much time on, right? But they don't really care about you using time on that clip. They only care about if the video is good or not. So, like, you know, and the end of the day is a sacrifice that you have to make for the overall quality of the video. And yeah, and I've been there surprisingly many times now that I'm thinking about it. Thought my internet bugged out. Yeah, it's weird because my internet didn't disconnect, but it was just OBS, I guess, breaking out. I don't know what happened. What I'm doing now is just literally filling these holes. You know, there's no point in going to the Mocha and kind of like fill them. You use the mask from there to fill these. So I just literally duplicate the layer and use this pencil mask for it, I guess. Because, you know, quite often when you use Mocha, you end up with these holes in the mask, which is quite annoying. But you can just easily fix them by just doing what I'm doing right now. There you go. Oh, yeah. Yep. And that's that done. So all I really have now left is just the bottle and the hands. But I don't think I'm gonna be doing that now. Oh man. I'm like celebrating that I'm soon done with this, but I know that all this bullshit to go. But you know, like this was quite funny clip in the movie where he's going up the escalator. But like, if I was to cut that out, like mask it, use all this time to do that, like I was thinking about there's not really anything that I can put him into, you know, the Skyrim. Where can he do that in the Skyrim, you know? Where does it make sense? And I don't think there isn't any particular place where you could do that, so I would just waste all that time to rotoscoping. The rotos are looking really good. Thanks, man. Like I remember rotoing this, and this was such a breath of fresh air because it's so fast. I literally did this in like what, 20 minutes? This shot specifically. I love your videos. Thanks, Spawn. Yeah, I'm quite done with the roto. I mean, I still have to finish it, but you know, and I need a break. Sure. Oh yeah, and I still have, you know, anybody is still here. I have an exciting merch thing coming up. It's definitely not going to be it's not happening before Christmas. I mean, I think the material for it will be online before Christmas, but you won't be able to get it by then, before Christmas. So that's a bit of a bummer. But yeah, I'm coming up with some bit of a merch quite soon, which is quite exciting. All right. Oh, I think I'm gonna have a break. Take a break now. I don't know if I'm gonna do any more live streaming on this video, but maybe in the future. Yeah, I've seen your community post about that. Can't wait for it. Yeah, thanks, man. I don't know how much I can show you yet because it's not supposed to be officially out yet, but yeah, it's quite exciting. Yeah. I think we're gonna go now, but thank you for watching. I think it was quite fun to, you know, do the rotoscoping with some audience. Yeah. Right. See you guys later, and hopefully, I don't know, maybe before the video comes out, but if not, then the video when it comes out. Hopefully it comes up before Christmas, but yeah. I think I tuned at the wrong time. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I think I'm gonna save it as a VOD, maybe. Yeah, I've lost my voice. I haven't drank anything in an hour, so learn a lot. Great information today. Thanks, man. That's awesome. And it's really fun to do these streams because I can give my tips and tricks for other people to use, which is always fun. But I still like to keep some of them in my back pocket. Hopefully unlist it so I can watch it again. Yeah, man, I have to go through it if I always worry about with these videos. I show something that I shouldn't, in terms of, you know, to have some confidential material on the browser or anything like that. Not meaning the p word, but you know what I mean, like job related or anything like that. So I have to go through that and see. But shouldn't be too much of a problem. Yeah, that was fun. I don't know if I'm gonna stream again, but I think maybe. I think because I'm quite done with the roto work. Luckily, the next step is literally recording the footage. I think, which I'm not looking forward to. But yeah. But anyways, right. See you guys later.